Okay, everybody, this is the first video for Stitch with Rick. Was going to wait till I got all the fancy equipment, but couldn't wait that long. So today, we're going to make the Cathedral window Christmas ornament. And believe it or not, it's only 4 pieces of material. 1, 2, 3, and the back, 4. It's a piece of cake. We'll see how it goes. First thing, you can have one 10 by 10 piece of material. That's for the trim, right there, the green. Then you're going to have a 5 by 5 insert. That is going to be for your interior here that shows. Then you're going to have a 4.5 by 4.5 square for your accent, which is on the outside. Now I just realized I think these are showing up backwards, aren't they? Yeah, it is. Oh well, I'll have a picture at the end of the video with all the measurements on it. Last piece of fabric is a 5 by 5 for the back, which is the candy canes. Alright, so first what we're going to do is we're going to take our green, which is our trim, and we're going to fold that wrong sides together, right in half. Just fold it in half. Get it even. You want to make sure it's really even. Lay it down. You're going to press it. So you get a little crease in there. Press, press, press. Little steam is good. Okay. Well, let's move that out of the way. And now you've got it pressed in half. Now you're going to fold it again. You're just going to fold it in half again to make a square. So that should be a 5 by 5 square. That's where you see the 5 by 5 square for the insert. So we're going to press that again. Press it nice and good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take that square and you're going to open it up and you have your lines. Okay? Now what I do, so they're not really strong lines, is I just do one over like that. And now we're going to fold these in to make like an envelope. Fold that one in and we're going to go around to all 4 sides and do that. 2, 3, 4. Finger press it if you want. Finger press that so it stays down. Try to get them even in the middle, looking like a nice little envelope. There. And the last one. Now we're going to press that again. Press that so it stays down. Don't get your fingers. Okay. So now we've got a nice little square. Alright. Now we're going to repeat that process. And just fold it over like that again and do all 4 sides. Okay. So I'm going to come back after I press that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back. Now I have folded that in again. So now you can see that we folded it once, and we folded it again. So now it's a 5 by 5 square. So with that 5 by 5 square, we're going to open that up, just partial, just the one, and we're going to take our insert, which is the 5 by 5 square, which is going to be this insert right here. We're going to put that in there, right side up, just like that, so you can see that. And we're going to fold it back down on it. It's basically going to cover everything up. You're not really be able to see it, but you can see it peeking through there a little bit. So you fold that back down, and what I like to do is I press that again to make sure it's down. Okay? So now it's perfect, okay? Little envelope. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch. I'm going to mark it with a white pencil so you can see. White, 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 white. I'm just going to sew 4 little lines, a 1/4 inch from the center dot out to hold that down, because we're going to fold this back and we want that point to stay. So I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. I'll do one and then I'll show you. Okay, I've sewn 3 of these now. See how I've sewed them right on those white lines. 1, 2, 3. Let this one open because you can see. So I'm going to sew that one, just tack it down. If you look on the back, you can see just the little tacks that I've done. So I'm going to do this one right now. So we got one more to do. We're just going to bring it in. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. I'm going to secure it. I'm going to do my needle up, cut my thread, and then that's the 4th one. Okay? So I'm going to clean that up and then come back to you. Okay, now that we've got all 4 of those tabs closed, see, can't open it. It is a sealed envelope. We are going to work on the inserts, the accent colors. So here we have our 4.5 by 4.5 accent color. We're going to take that, and what we're going to do with that is we are going to cut it on the diagonal to make 4 triangles. So we got one there. Take my little square, put my square down here, get it level, even. Take my rotary cutter, one, and I'm just going to leave it sitting on there. And then I'm going to do one more rotary cut across the other diagonal. Get it perfect. Okay. Now, we have 4 individual little triangles. Okay? Now we're going to go back to our ornament, and we're going to take those 4 triangles and we're going to place them on the green, right like that, so we can leave a little green on the sides there and make this flush with the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin them. I'll show you how I'll pin one, and I'll do the rest off camera so we don't waste time. So I'm going to pin it diagonally in there to hold it in place. Some people use glue, but I'm just pinning it because I don't want the glue ended up on my iron like it happened before. Alright, so you can see I have it pinned diagonally that way and that way, not straight across, because we're going to end up rolling this back, and I don't want to hit the pin with my needle on the machine. So I'm going to do all 4 of those corners and be right back. Okay, I've got all 4 accent pieces pinned in there. You can see I just pinned. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the machine and we are going to sew it. I'm going to roll this back. Actually, I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see better. Okay, got the camera moved a little closer. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we've got it all pinned. Okay, now we are going to take this edge and just fold it back. And see how it makes it a little opening right there? Now we're going to sew right along the edge of that green and sew right off of the ornament, so it'll keep it folded back. Make sure you have a coordinating thread that you want to show, because it's going to be top stitch. You're going to see the stitch on top of that green. Alright? So what I do is I use my zipper foot. Okay, so if I'm going to start on the left hand side of all those little 4-leaf clovers like, I use on the outside of the zipper foot, and I can stitch right on the edge. And then with my zipper foot I can just move the needle over, switch sides, and sew on the other side for when I do the 4 right sides. So I do the left sides first, and then I do the right sides. So let me put my zipper foot on, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, I have green thread because I wanted mine to show green on the green. I didn't want any white or anything like that. So we're going to put it right on the edge of the green, and I'm going to back stitch just once to lock it in, and then I'm just going to go forward right on the edge of that green. And remember, it's going to show on the top, so you're just going to bring it all the way. And you can't see this right now, but I promise later on when I get a better camera system, it'll be much better. And off of the ornament. Okay? touch the threads. And then you'll see right there is where I stitched right on the edge. Okay, so now instead of going over to the next one here, I'm going to go to the next left one and do the left one, and I'll do all four. Make sure when you sew it, that little tab stays in so it's covered. Alright, so that's going to be sewn down there. I'm going to do all four of those. Then I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the other four on the right hand side. Okay, so I'll do that and I'll be right back when I have all four of the sides done. Okay, so now I did the four sides. See, one there, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to move my zipper foot over to the other side and I'm going to do the right hand side of all of them, all four. Alright, and then that's it. So I'll be right back. I'll do that and come back to you when all four sides are done. Alright, now I've got all four sides done. So you got the little stained glass looking window there. So we're going to take our pins out. Put pins away. Okay. So there. Okay. So that is now 3 pieces of material. The 4th piece of material is going to be the back. I'll let you see the back so you can see the little clover. Now, what we're going to do is we need to put a hanger in there. So I'm taking about an 8-inch piece of ribbon and I'm going to fold it. But I'm not going to fold it like right together, flat. I'm going to put it separate a little bit to make a little cross. You can see that. So it'll be crossed like that. That way the ornament won't spin on the tree. Tricky part is you want to put your hanger, put it inside your ornament. So the ribbon is going to be inside here. Okay? Then you want to just pin it on. Just pin it a little bit. Okay? So I have it pinned. Don't pin it all the way up here because your sewing machine is going to be going over that, your needle. You don't want to hit those pins with the needle. Alright, so now that we've got the hanger inside, we are going to take the backing material, which is the 5x5 backing. Okay, so they're right side, wrong side. Well, we want to do right sides together. Okay, so that's the inside and that's the back. Okay, so right sides together. Let's see it again. Okay, you have your hanger inside. You're going to take your black material and put right sides together, and we're going to sew that together. So I'm going to start sewing on one end, leaving a gap between there, probably about, well, I'd say about a 3-inch gap right there. That way you can turn it inside out through there. Okay, so I'm going to sew it all the way around and stop over here, so that way I can turn it in right side out at the end. Okay, so I'll do that, and of course I'll be right back. Did want to say one thing. When I did that sewing on the trim inside there, I used my zipper foot. Now I'm going to switch and I'm going to use my 1/4 inch seam foot. So this shows me that it's a 1/4 inch in between those two spots. My needle is right in the middle, right in that hole right there is the needle. So I know that it's a 1/4 inch. That way I know I'm sewing a 1/4 inch seam all the way around and I'm consistent. Alright, so 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. When you get to your corners, make sure you leave a 1/4 inch, you stop a 1/4 inch before it. That's about right. And then pivot, pivot. And you all get that, that's from friends. And then keep on going. 1/4 inch, again, stop, 3/4 inch. One more. I'm going to pivot, and I'm only going to go down about an inch so I can turn it easily. So I'm going to go down about an inch, and I'm going to sew it backwards a little bit just to reinforce that for when I'm turning it I don't break the threads. Okay, so that's it. So now we have it sewn all the way around. Okay, we have a gap here. Just make sure when you go to turn it that you just take the backing, because you're going to have two pieces of material. The backing, and then you're going to have the insert and the green. Well, the insert and the green stay together. You go in between here. And don't forget to get your little neat pins out from the hook, from the hanger. Alright, so now we're just going to turn this right side out. Stick it through there, right there. I'm going a little fast, but I'm going to get it all on camera. Okay, so now I'm turning it right side out. Alright, got all four corners out. Oh, three corners. Here comes the fourth. Alright, now, that's the ornament basically. But now, you want to make sure you get your corners out, all the four corners. Now, you can either use a chopstick, pair of chopsticks to get those out, but when you buy your filler, it comes with a little tool. It looks just like a chopstick, but it's got rounded edges so you can use it. And you want to go to all four corners and make sure your points are out. Don't push too hard, don't break your threads. But you want to get those all out. Alright? Okay, so I'm going to go around all four corners and do that. So now you have your ornament. Of course, it's not stuffed yet. There's the hanger that came out. Alright? So I'm going to pull out all four corners and come back. Okay, I got all four corners pushed out, and there's what we left open to do the stuffing. So we're going to do that. But before you stuff it, what you want to do is where you have this opening, is you want to take and you want to fold your 1/4 inch seam in right there. So now it's, because you're going to top stitch that. Now you have that folded. So what you want to do is you want to press that before you stuff it. It'll make it easier for when you're sewing. So get your sewing out, your iron, and I press one side first. Just make sure it's in. Press my one side in. Now I'm going to turn it around over and make sure that your insert here is over the other part, and then you want to press that. Okay. Okay. So now that way when I stuff it, it'll be easier to do. Okay. Then you get your stuffing, and you just take a little bit at a time. And what I do is I stuff it in there first, and I go to all four corners, the two on the bottom first, and put my stuffing in that corner there. And then I do the other side down on the bottom also, and stuff that in there. Don't put too much in it at the beginning. And you don't want to make it too tight. Don't overstuff it, because you're going to put a button. Where's my button? You're going to put a button in the middle. You want to be able to squeeze this later on, and put your button in here to cover up those points. Well, he's upside down. You know what I mean? To put him in there. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stuff it and come back to you, and that'll be it. Alright, so I'll put my last little bit of stuffing in there, because again, I don't want to overstuff it. I don't want to make it too hard, because you want to get that pillow effect for when you put the button in it. The button, you want it to, sink in some. Alright, so now that we've got it all stuffed and got all the corners done, you're basically almost done. All you have to do is top stitch. You can either top stitch it, or you could sew this on your machine if you wanted to, but I like to top stitch it so you don't see the thread. One of the ladies at the quilting store, she'll remain nameless, Alice, likes to do that hand sewing. So she taught me that. So that's what I'm going to do, or I've been doing on my quilts also. So I'm going to stop stitch that together real quick and come back. Okay, now that we have whip stitched the whole opening closed, we still have our thread, and I know most of you know already, but we're going to bury our thread. We're just going to take our needle, we'll put it right into the ornament, bring it out a little further away, pull that. I'm then going to pull it tight and snip my thread, and my thread disappears. Okay? Alright, so now we have our ornament. It is almost done. Okay? But we don't want everybody to see this unsewn part that just looks horrible. So we're going to take us a button, and we're going to put a button right across it. Now, I cheat with the buttons. I take some embroidery thread, and I come up through the back, in the middle. I come up, and I leave a tail underneath it there, a little longer, and I go back in, come back out close, but not right where it was before, pull that through, and I leave my needle on, and then what I do is I knot my thread, the embroidery thread, pull it tight, not too tight because you will pop that thread, and now you've got it indented a little bit. It looks like a little pin cushion still there, you know. So then I'm going to tie it again, tie my knot. Once, twice, that's good. Now I'm going to come back up through my ornament, up to the top, because my button is a top to bottom button. So I have my hanger here. I'm going to come up a little bit off center with the needle, pull it out, take my little ginger man button, put it through the top part, sink him down, put it through the bottom part. So now he's to the bottom, back through my ornament, back through the back, back to the back I said, and pull it taut, and I'm going to tie it off. Okay, pull it nice and tight, extra little cushion there, tie it once, and I tie it 2 times. I'll cut my threads off. And we are now complete. We have a gingerbread cathedral Christmas ornament to hang on our tree. That is it. There's the back and the front. Alright, thank y'all so much. This was my first video. Wasn't very high tech, just using my iPhone. I'm going to get better on it as it goes. And hit the like button down below and subscribe. You can watch me grow, see how I do, give me comments, let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what I could do better, what I shouldn't do. And that's it. Y'all have a good day, and I also have a Facebook page. It's Stitch with Rick on Facebook, and the website is also stitchwithrick.com. Everything is Stitch with Rick. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.